What's going on, folks? I'm Evan, and behind me is the best half-ton truck camper you can buy. This is the 2025 Northern Lite 610. Let's go check it out. Now, for those of you that are familiar with Northern Lite already, you probably know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the construction. So for all you that are new to Northern Lite, you can have an understanding of what's going on here. These are very special. So they're Canadian built. We got a two-piece fiberglass shell, molded fiberglass. Before they cut out the holes for stuff, you could take half of that and float down the dang river. Marine grade gel coat on the outside to keep it looking super shiny, super nice. We got black decals on this one. And yes, I said decals. Welcome to Canada, baby. Now this thing is tiny. Behind it, this one here, that's the 811. So just for a size reference, massive difference, right? Half the weight, less than half the weight of that 811 right there. We got 400 watts of solar on the roof, and this is designed for half-ton trucks. You want something small, but with Northern Lite construction. Now, some of you may have already noticed, we have ratcheting tie downs on this. So your traditional truck camper uses frame-mounted tie downs on the outside of the box. This, being so small, ties right into the corners of your box. So they pull down and then they just suck right back up, pull the tension out, and it stays right in place. So that's a nice cost savings as well, because it's pretty expensive for tie downs, frame mounts, all of that. So, you know, all said and done, the 610 over, let's say, an 811 with a full setup, you're saving like 30 grand. But it is pretty slimmed down for features. We've got an outside shower. That's your only shower though. City water hookup, potable water fill, all of that's still there. We have a water heater, we have a furnace, still foam block insulated. Out here, we've got a little bit of storage, not this one, because it says not for storage. This is your drain for your gray tank, just your gray tank. You've also got access to your plumbing. You've got your water pump there, little light in here, which does kick out a little bit of heat as well. And you'll notice we've got some weight-saving holes cut out of the plywood in here. And that's how they managed to get the weight down. So they're using a nice thick plywood still high quality construction, but they cut out holes where they can to save a lot of weight. And this one is where you've got storage. It goes back the entire length of the box there. You can't really see it, but you get a rotocast storage bin, slide it in there. You could put some skis in there, maybe a thinner snowboard. There's your freshwater tank right there. Now this one is equipped with the electric happy jacks, as well as the Hecky skylight, which is optional. So there's a convenience package, a luxury package, can't remember exactly what it's called, that gets you a few features that don't come standard. Now these jacks do add about 105 pounds to your total weight, but the convenience might be worth it if you have the payload capacity. In this compartment here, we got one 20-pound propane tank, little strap to hold it in place, and that's pretty much it for the outside. One thing I forgot before we go inside, we've got a cassette toilet in this. So this compartment is where you access the cassette from. Let me show you what that cassette looks like. It's about 4.7 gallons, and it's nice and easy to take out and kind of move around. And I've got the specs in the description as well. Let's have a look at the outside from here. Right as you come in, you got your cassette toilet here, little bench on top, fire extinguisher. We've got an L-shaped seat. Now, I have a battery pack hooked up to this, but this has an inside battery compartment, so you need a lithium battery because there's no venting. You don't want any off-gassing in this tiny little area, or you're gonna, poison yourself. So, lithium battery goes in there. I'll show you what that compartment looks like in a minute. We got this really nice big dinette with the lagoon table. It's a very big table. You can spin it around, point it where you want, and then this is also the base for the bed. So let me show you what it looks like in bed mode right now. Now I don't know if I have the cushions in the right configuration because it's kind of a puzzle, but you get the gist. It turns into a pretty decent sized bed. Now off to the left in here, before I jump up, we've got some nice deep storage. So you have no cabinet doors, just netting. You save a ton of weight on that. And then here's your remote for your happy jacks, so you can control those. A little more storage, access to your plumbing under the sink there. Now this toilet spins around so you can use it, and then you pop this bench off Bob's your uncle. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy as pie. Now let me climb up in here, and it's a little windy, and the 610 being super light, it's kind of wobbly, so I'm going to try and hold you steady. Big windows, same thermal pane acrylic windows that open awning style, and this one being an exit window, of course it goes all the way. Blackout shade and a bug screen built right in. And the best part about that blackout shade is it's pretty much the only true blackout shade on the market, because you've got this fascia around the window, so it doesn't actually let any light in. And that's it, window number one. Off to the right here, we got your Northern Light clock. We've got your Truma control, so that's your water heater, your furnace. Little charging station, so we have 12 volts and we have USB here. We have one fast USB, one slow USB. Tons of storage, like quite deep storage, top and bottom. And then there's this little kind of hidden compartment. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but it's really deep. Like you could stick a lot of stuff in there. Up above your dinette, we got a connected cabinet system up here. Lots of room. And these nets, if you don't want them, they're just on hooks. So like you can just unhook it and you can take them right off. Now your roof, we still got a carpeted roof, fantastic fan in here, and it is rain sensing as well as remote control. You can get this with AC from the factory, or you can install it after the fact. From the factory, it adds about 150 pounds. So it kind of pushes you out of the range for most half-ton trucks. We're talking 1,500 pounds as it is, 1,450 at the lightest really, with no additional options. And that's already pushing it for some half-tons. So you got to make sure you have the right truck. If this is what you want to do, you don't already have a truck, make sure you buy the truck for this camper. Now we have a full length bed, so it's 80 inches long. It's 54 inches wide, so double, I guess. Comfortable mattress. And there's a breather pad underneath so you don't get condensation buildup or anything. We've got reading lights with USBs on both sides up here. There's your Hecky skylight. Beautiful day out here. And there's a little bit of storage here. And a plug in there. So if you have CPAP or something like that, you can plug it right in. Your Hecky skylight has a blackout shade and a bug screen, because you can open it right up, all the way up. And you can kind of latch it in different settings here, or you can just have it closed, have some stargazing going on. The best thing to do with this is open it to the first, like the lowest slot, and then turn on your Fantastic fan, overnight especially, and you just run your Fantastic fan, and it pulls air right over the bed, helps keep you cool. Turning our attention to the kitchen, we got a good sized kind of countertop here. Nice the way they did this with the combo system here. So you have this glass top. You could put, a sheet of plastic or something over that if you want, like a cutting board, to give you more counter space without having to worry about messing up the glass. This opens up. 2 burners, gas burners, and cool thing about this is you can just like wash all this off and it goes right down the sink because it's all combined. Makes cleaning your stove really easy. Got a window here, same awning style window, screen, shade, all of that. We got a vent fan that actually vents outside. It's Furrion, so it moves a ton of air. We got some storage off to the left, your spice rack here. Another little bit up here, kind of hard to see it. Tons of storage above your kitchen. We got a little towel hook here, or whatever you want that to be. Solar controller, tank monitor system, and then we have a GFCI plug right here. Your fridge is a pretty good size for what this is. It's a 12-volt fridge, so it's really efficient, gets cool fast, and it's a Norcold. It's not some brand you've never heard of. It's tried and true. This freezer is a little bit small. You could probably put like ice packs in there. When you're in something this small, that's a pretty good size fridge. A little more pantry space right here. Actually, a lot more pantry space. Let me see, like that goes past my elbow. So tons of room in there. Smaller one up top because you have that cabinet in the bedroom. And that's pretty much it. And for those of you that are wondering, in this box, we've got accordion steps, like aluminum accordion steps that go on the back here. Because in your normal Northern Lite, let me show you, you've got this big rear deck with the fold-out steps. Obviously, to keep the weight and the size down, you don't get that on the 610. So you have aluminum steps. So that's it, folks. What's going on, folks? I'm Evan, and behind me is the brand new 2025 Northern Lite 811 limited edition wet bath. Let's go check it out. So in front of me is the best short box truck camper in the industry available today. This thing is loaded, being the limited edition. It's got all the bells and whistles, 2 awnings, 600 watts of solar, everything you could ever need. But real quick, let's talk about the construction. So Northern Lite, built in Canada, they're built with a 2-piece fiberglass shell. So you got the top piece and the bottom piece joined with 1 seam in the middle. That's it. So you have way less points for water to get in, way less points of flex inside. They're built really well. They're also a little bit wider than your traditional truck camper. So your box in the bottom, that's as wide as they could possibly get it. But then they try to keep that center of gravity super low, so they really widen the body. It's about 3 inches wider than the competition. Now this one is about 3,200 pounds. Got the specs on the screen for you right now, and they're in the description as well. Now let's get right into it. Outside with the limited edition, we've got exterior speakers. We got this one with the chrome decals, as you can see. So that's chrome, and then this carbon fiber weave for the other decals. They look really great. That's kind of been the standard for a long time, but they did just introduce black decals as well. Now, if you're American and you're laughing at me right now, well, welcome to Canada. They're called decals, all right? Decals, you guys are crazy. 40 pounds of propane in here, held in by a strap, and we got a nice little tray so we can roll them right out, take them off, fill them up, do what you got to do, and you just push them back in there, and there's your propane. Now, before they cut all the holes out for the compartments, you could float down the river in one of these. I mean, look at this. In this corner, there's nothing. It's all molded, all part of the box. Really heavy-duty tie-down points. And especially on these front jacks, which are electric jacks with a remote. These front jacks, you've got this really thick bracket system. And built right into that, tied in, is the tie-down mounting point. Now, we also have a front window here. It doesn't open because they've tested them about 1 million times. And every time they put a window that opens in there, it ends up leaking. And they're too small for anyone to get through anyways. Here, we got your fridge compartment, fridge service access. Nothing crazy. Still got a dual fuel fridge here. Little exterior light. Battery compartment. Now it says here you can hold 2 Group 27 batteries, so that's 2 6 volts, deep cycle 6 volts. You can also put lithiums in here, but as it says on the sticker, they need to have a battery management system. That's pretty standard. We've also got a generator compartment here. Let me throw up a clip of that since my battery connection's in the way. So you can get the generator from the factory, or in the 10.2, the 811, you can have it installed after the fact. Now along the back, we've got your second awning. So 1 Carefree awning out here, 1 Carefree awning out the back. Massive, massive brackets here for your rear jacks, and this huge deck. So these wrap all the way around, down around the bottom of the body, and then you've got this really thick deck. So this stays where it is. I'll show you, let me shut the door here. That step can stay there, but it comes off because there's some new Rotocast bins in there. Well, one of them is new anyway. Heated basement, so you can put your stuff in there, you know, put your skis in there. When the snow melts, it's not going all over the place because you're in these bins that are easy to clean. But then we have these bottom 2 steps. There's another step here wrapped in foam because when this is on the back of your truck, well, it's pretty high up. So there's another step that flips out and goes onto the bottom, so you get 1 more place to step, a little easier to get in and out. And when you're traveling, it just folds up like that. Everything goes together real nice. You got pins to hold them in place. And then when you're ready to go, flip it down. and away you go. Also over here, got your sewer hose storage built right into the bumper, of course. Wow, that sun is bright. We have your outdoor shower, we got your city water connection, 30 amp service, water heater, furnace exhaust over there, potable water fill, cable hookup for your site. And then on this side, we do have a service access panel built right in there. Now, luckily that's tucked away in your box. You don't have to worry about water or anything getting in there. That is, well, I'll show you what you get to from that. So that gives you access to the P-trap, the plumbing under your shower and your toilet, your sink there. So in here, we've got freshwater tank, black tank, all of that is around here. Well, your freshwater's further up, but we've got your black tank here. Gray tank is up over there. The pull for that is there. And then kind of all the water line access, freshwater drains, poles are here. There is a light in here you can turn on. And when it's really cold, it actually gives off a little bit of heat. So we have a furnace vent back there because the entire basement is heated. There's no vents running directly to the inside. The basement's heated and then heat rises, right? So it gets pushed up through the vents into the rest of the unit. And they really cleaned this up this year. Like, you guys might not know if you haven't looked before, but previous years, this was a little bit more messy. It looks great now. Right back here underneath, that's where your freshwater drains are and also where the black tank or your sewer hookup is when you're draining your tanks. Now, isn't this just a sharp looking truck camera? Let's just take a moment and appreciate how good these look. And they look even better on a truck rolling down the road. You can't miss them. We've got Dometic S5 acrylic windows. Show you what those look like on the inside. But before we get in there, we've got a backup camera, ladder to get on the roof. And let me show you what's on the roof. There's 600 watts of solar standard on the LE now. Big air conditioner. We've got the skylight, the Hecky skylight, which I'll show you from the other angle in a minute here. There's your roof, and you can see it's all sloped. There's not a lot of seams. The sealant is way overdone because you can't really overdo it. You got to keep the water out. And that's the name of the game with everything, and Northern Lite does a really good job with that. So let's go on inside. First, let's talk about your door. This door handle, this is metal. Just a little thing, but again, you know, just quality pieces from Northern Lite, right? Screen door, nothing special. We got the thin shades here. You can open and close on the bottom and the top. These are tinted as well. As we walk in, you're gonna notice there's some cardboard, carpet on the floor. So the cardboard's to protect the carpet. The carpet is there if you want it, but you've got a vinyl flooring underneath, so you can take that, roll it up, do what you want. Now, let's have a quick overview in here. Got your fridge, which no, it's not blue, it's black. We've got your bathroom door right here. That just slides forward, locks into place. Absolutely amazing place to be. It's so quiet in here. If I shut the door, I mean, obviously I'm using a microphone, probably can't really hear the highway anyways, but if I shut the door, you can see just how quiet it is in here, hopefully. We got the carpeted roof the whole way through. They're using foam block insulation. This thing is pretty much the only thing on the lot that I can, you know, look at you and say, you could take this to Siberia in winter and you're probably gonna have a good time. Huge hanging closet when you first come in the door. Little vent there, because condensation is gonna build up in here if it gets cold, right? So you have your furnace running, it's gonna keep this compartment a little bit warmer. Solid white oak doors, cabinet doors and drawer fronts, things like that. This is in the Greystoke stain. Otherwise it comes in like kind of a more reddish stain. Got your solar controller, awning switches over here. And this is a new compartment for 25. Some 24s, 25. Northern Lite kind of reclaimed some space that they just realized was empty. So you got a pretty deep compartment. That's about 2 feet deep. Just listen to how solid that is. We've got metal hardware. And these are thick doors, not drawers. Battery disconnect. Fire extinguisher. Your bathroom over here, we've got this valance leatherette, really high quality stuff. Max air fan, it's rain sensing, and there is a remote. So you take this remote to bed, open your skylight, you control your fan, and you barely ever need your AC overnight. Now we slide this door open, which is mirrored, so it helps really open it up in here. And it's hard to get an idea of just how wide it is, but this hallway does not feel squishy compared to a lot of other truck campers I've been in. This is the wet bath. That means this bathroom is a little bit smaller. It's more popular than the dry bath, but in the dry bath, you get a little, I think it's 2 or 3 inches more, which you do lose in the dinette when you get the dry bath. Now the wet bath, the difference is the orientation of the door, and then this tub here and everything in here, is made to get wet. So that's why you get, your toilet paper cover. And the shower curtain wraps all the way around the outside. We got another full-size max air fan in there, not remote, not rain sensing, but hopefully you just remembered to turn it on and turn it off. Got a medicine cabinet, a nice bright light in here, and there's even a sink. And there's plenty of space. Like, let me see if I can give you kind of an idea of how much space there is in here. I can turn around, and if you don't want to get your toilet wet, if you want to turn it into a dry bath, you just drape the shower curtain in front of it instead of wrapping it all the way around. So there's your bathroom. Hopefully I didn't make you too motion sick in there. Pretty good size, plenty of room, but you're not losing space, sacrificing with the dinette or anything. And all the trim pieces, like all of this, it's all wood. Whoa, there's a ghost. Stay. It's all wood, it's all stained to match. This matches the leatherette in the dinette. We're using really high density foam in here. Very, very comfortable. Like, you can sit in there for a long time and your butt's not gonna hurt. It's not like a plane seat. 75-pound drawer slides and drawer bottoms. Birch boxes. We got vents all over the place, intakes. On this wall, we got your max air fan controller, your clock, which comes with every Northern Light, thermostat for your furnace, and then we've got your tank monitor. We also have reading lights, so you have one here, one on the other side, and they've got USBs on the bottom, so you can plug your phone in or something, and then you can move them around, point them where you want to point them. Nice valence above the window there. This one's an exit window. The only difference is that it's bigger, basically. So Dometic S5 acrylic windows, they're dual pane, so you kind of can see it, but there's about a 1/4 inch gap between this panel and the exterior panel. So they're filled with gas, and they're really effective. If you close the shade, it doesn't get hot in here, and then it doesn't really let nearly as much heat in or out, not as much radiating going on. So it opens right up, awning style, so you can have it open when it rains. And then when you want to close it, you just give it a good pull, latch it like so. And then you've got your screen. So when you have it open, you want to keep the bugs out, obviously. And you have your blackout shade, which is pretty much the only true blackout shade because you've got these big sort of fascias around the windows. So 0 light gets through when you have this closed. And you can set it like, there are points where you can leave it, which I really like. Then we got your dinette, Sapele table. Some of you guys, I know you're wood experts. You're gonna say it's not Sapele. Look at the grain. It's Sapele, it's stained, okay? It is stained to match the cabinets. And they've got this really nice line running through it the whole way. Let me show you how it turns into a bed. It's pretty comfortable, and I'm about 6 feet. I can lay down on it, no problem. I would happily sleep on this dinette. Also got speakers down here underneath the dinette. We got plugs, vinyl flooring, of course, and then there's a shoe garage down there. Usually people put like a little Tupperware container, about 4 inches, 5 inches wide down there and put stuff in it. Across the way, we got your kitchen. Amazing kitchen. It's a great place to be. Got your sink cover with the rubber feet, so it goes on top of your 3-burner Furrion stove, and you reclaim all your countertop when you're not cooking inside. There's also an oven. It's a small one, but you bake cookies. Big drawer down here. That's like your pot drawer. All sorts of goodies come with this thing. Here's your jack remote. And acrylic polishing kit is included with these. So when inevitably you get scratches on the windows, just like you do with glass, with the acrylic windows, you can polish them and make them look really good. The other thing you can do on the outside is ceramic coat the whole unit. A lot of my customers do this. You don't have to pay to have it done. You just buy yourself a bottle of ceramic coat. If you have the time, learn how to apply it, go over it. It makes getting like the bugs and the dirt off after a long trip really, really easy. So I recommend doing that if you can, because it's gonna help you keep this thing clean and pristine. Now also over here, got some more drawers, all kinds of storage. Nice deep cabinet down here. And then down here in this step is a silverware tray. But if you don't want that, you can just take it out and you have a little drawer. It's only about 2 inches deep, but still some extra space there. We've got paper towel roll holder, stained to match. Got the little like remote or magazine holder, book holder here. Charging station, so USBs and 12 volt. Also have a GFCI outlet and your radio, which is AM, FM, Bluetooth. It's all there. You can also put CDs in there. Microwave comes standard in the limited edition. And these cabinets hold themselves up. Careful though, when you close them, they will slam if you don't hold on to them. So just close them nicely, because these little hydraulic arms pull back in. Now, if you don't like the microwave, there's one little bracket at the back and then one on the front that just holds it in place. You can take that out. AC in the roof right here, keeps you really cool. And then your bedroom. So this is a full length queen, full length, 80 inches. TV on the one side, that's on a mount. And behind that is another one of those power stations with 12 volt and USB. Got all your WineGuard stuff down here, easy access to the wiring, which you can see is done really nicely. It's not a rat's nest. We also have some power. And then these little vents here are on both sides, you're gonna see them. And what that does is it just allows air to filter between your side storage and out here where the warm air is. Otherwise you're gonna get condensation in there. More of the same windows, awning style with the shades. Same reading lights, nice headboard. And you're gonna probably bonk your head a couple times, but it's nice and soft because you got the carpet. Here's more of those vents for you. Because like I said, the furnace doesn't pump heat all over the place, because why would they run all those vents and lose storage? Same storage up there. And now your skylight, you've got a blackout shade. And there's a screen. And it opens right up, because it's also your secondary fire exit or emergency exit, because you have the ladder on the back. So you can climb right out of that. Or, you know, you have it open a little bit. You can kind of lock it in different settings here. And then you run your fan, like I was saying, and it keeps you nice and cool all night. And that's it, folks. Here yet again with the best truck camper manufacturer in the world. This is the 2025 Northern Lite 9.6 limited edition. Let's go check it out. So starting on the outside, let's talk about what makes this the best. First off, we've got a 2-piece fiberglass clamshell. That means there's only one seam around the whole exterior. Way less chances for water intrusion, like with the traditional travel trailer or truck camper, where you have a seam on every corner. That's hundreds of seams. Before they cut the holes out, you could float down the river in one of these like it's a boat, because it's made out of fiberglass. It's got a marine grade gel coat on the exterior. And now this one that I'm showing you is the limited edition. That's the top trim. So we've got all the fixins. We've got 2 awnings, exterior speakers, things like that are part of the limited edition. There's also 600 watts of solar up on the roof. We've got 2 20-pound propane tanks in this compartment right here. Let me show you what that looks like. And here's a look at the underside. So this, the 9.6, is like the 811. So if you've seen the 811 video, if not, I'll put it right here for you. It's like the 811, almost the same size, except the hips at the back are different. So the 811 is designed for a short box, so you get longer hips, more storage here, and the generator compartment on the other side is down here, whereas in the 9.6, the hips are quite a bit shorter, so this can slide all the way in to an 8-foot box. This one, your battery compartment's here, and your generator compartment is up here. Like so. Now the 9.6, you can't install it after the fact, at least it's not prepped for it. I'm sure you could work it out, but from the factory, you can get it with a 3,200 watt Honda propane generator. There's a better look at the side here. Like I said, we've got the black decals. You can still get the chrome decals, which get a gray carbon fiber look as opposed to the black carbon fiber look. Got your Carefree awning with the LED strip there. Another Carefree awning on this side. This one has arms, the other one is armless. We've got this massive rear deck. This is standard on everything now. We've got the flip up steps. Those go up like so, and the reason this is all covered in cardboard is to protect the third step, which flips out. So when I flip these down, you can take off the third step and add another one down there, but we're so close to the ground, I can't do that for you right now. We've got your ladder up towards the roof there. And on this side, we've got all your services, your outdoor shower, hot and cold, city water fill, electrical connection. Over here, we've got your potable water tank fill, cable connection, and your water heater. Now underneath, all your tie downs are tied into the jack mounts super well. They're not corner mounted like on the very edge like you would see in some of the traditional build truck campers. They're actually mounted in an L shape with this super thick metal bracket. There's your 7-pole plug right there. Now this thing has a heated basement. So all the heat from the furnace is dumped into your basement. Here's your poles. Take a look at all that. So then it rises up from there. When it's in the basement, it's heating the tanks, it's heating the floor. So you wake up in the morning on a cold day, you've got a nice heated floor. That's pretty handy. That's why these are the lightest true 4-season truck campers on the market, because you can use this, and I have customers that use these all year round, even here in Canada, where sometimes it's -40. Now at that point, you want to take the water out just to be safe, but they stay nice and toasty. As you can see here, we've got this removable step up top to access your basement storage here, which comes with a super long rotocast bin. And that whole area is heated as well. So you could put, skis in here, snowboards, fishing gear, whatever you want to put in there. It won't damage anything because you're in this sealed container. So wet stuff can go in there and it'll stay heated. And then we've got an open storage compartment here, which hopefully I can show you a little bit. There you go. That goes all the way back. Next up, beside the ladder, we've got a backup camera. Got a little campground light. And if I climb up the ladder, I can show you how well sloped this roof is. There's your 3 solar panels. You can see your Hecky skylight up there. That's actually used as a secondary fire exit for when you're in the bedroom. So you can climb out of that and come climb down the ladder if you need to. Now, like I said, there's only the one seam around the outside. So aside from where, utilities are cut out of the roof, there are no seams up here, no seams on the corners for water to get into. Water just beads right off the side. So, cool thing, we've got upper and lower windows in your door. Now there's a sale sign in the way here, but this window gives you fantastic visibility out the rear from your truck through that window up there. Then you've got this upper window, both have Lippert thin shades. And you got some Canadian geese there. Why? Because these are Canadian built. Very important, especially nowadays with what's going on. Built out in Kelowna by Canadians for Canadians. Directly to the right of your entranceway, we've got your battery disconnect, your fire extinguisher, your awning controls here, your solar controller, a little storage compartment. This is a new addition from 2024, I think. Before, this was just kind of lost space in there. We've got the Grey Stokes stain in here, so that's stained white oak. And then above your solar controller, we've got your wardrobe. Little hanging space there. Carpeted roof, which makes for a really quiet interior, which you can't really tell because I got to keep the door open to let some light in. but it's nice and quiet in here. Little radiant heat vent in there to stop condensation from forming inside this cabinet. Super solid metal hardware, really thick, solid wood doors, not paper wrapped. A lot of people look at these, think they're paper wrapped. They are stained. It's stained white oak. Super nice cabinets. This one, we've got the gas electric fridge. You can option them with a 12 volt fridge now, which is the way that everything seems to be going. Across from your fridge, we've got your bathroom. So we've got this mirrored door. Hey folks, it's me. Sorry, not included with purchase. Sliding door. Now the 9.6 only comes in a wet bath. You can get the 8.11 and the 10.2 in a dry bath, which basically separates the toilet and the shower with a little nub and flips where the doors are. 9.6 only a wet bath because of the size of the hips there. Plenty of space in here. Let me step inside. I'll try to show you as best as I can. We got a medicine cabinet right here. Hey, it's me again. Little medicine cabinet, max air fan right up there with a light, a place to put your towel, and then we've got your shower curtain rail up here so that you can see that wraps all the way around to protect your door and stop water from getting out underneath. And then you've got a good amount of foot space in here. We're a size 10.5 boots, so you got lots of room. Over here we've got your sink, toilet paper holder, and then here's maybe an okay view, hey, of the seating position on the toilet. Lots of room. Continuing on inside, we've got the face-to-face dinette in this one. The limited edition gets a sapele wood table. We've got the black leatherette in here. Now when you get the U-shaped dinette, which you can do in the 9.6, you can get a U-shaped dinette, goes around the back, you got a smaller table, does take away a little bit of space from your bathroom, which you can see has a matching leatherette headpiece here. Max air fan, rain sensing remote max air fan in the middle. There's your remote, so you can take that up to your bedroom, control it from your bedroom. We got a clock, your monitor, AC controller here, and we've got reading lights with USBs on both sides of the dinette and on both sides of the bed. We've got acrylic thermal pane Dometic windows with blackout shades and screens to keep the bugs out when you have the window open. Look at that beautiful sky out there. What an amazing day. Matching leatherette valance for your window. This is the Dream dinette, so it's super easy to put down. You just flip this, push down on the table, and it turns into a bed. When it's in bed mode, it's 74 inches long, so it is pretty comfortable for shorter stays or for shorter people. I raise the dinette back up and put this little lever in place. There you go. You can also undo this knob here and you can slide the table back and forth. So if one of you is skinnier than the other, you can push the table towards the skinny one. Underneath here, we've got speakers and intakes as well as some radiant vents for your furnace. Down here, we've got a little shoe garage. A lot of people put just a little container in there to store whatever you want to store in there. Underneath the dinette on this side is a 5-piece drawer with a hardwood front, 75-pound drawer slides, and then on the other side, over here, service access down here. Your water heater, your pump, all the things that you're going to need access to at some point in the future. And they've even taken the time to kind of route the edge, sand the edge of this plywood so that you don't get slivers. It's very soft, and that's thoughtful. I really like thoughtful design, and Northern Lite, they do stuff thoughtfully. Also, these cushions are super high quality, very high density foam, very thick leatherette on the bottom, and a little bit more supple on the top. You can get it in a few different colors. And if you get the special edition or the Sportsman, you get it in cloth and you don't get a sapele wood table. In between your kitchen and your dinette, we've got a little silverware drawer down here, but you can take the silverware part out and just use the rest as a drawer. It's only about maybe 2 inches thick, or deep rather. So not a lot of stuff you could put in there other than silverware, but you can figure that out. Got your flooring here, but you might have noticed there's a little cardboard runner on the floor and some carpet. This carpet is fully removable. It comes with the camper, so if you want to use the carpet, you can, but it is fully removable if you just want to have your vinyl flooring. We got lots of storage. Got a little acrylic window polishing kit, some doodads, bits and bobs. Another drawer here, and a little sponge flip out up here for your sink. And a super big drawer for your pots and pans or whatever else you want to put in here underneath your oven. Remote control for your Happy Jacks right here. A few more goodies in there like remotes. Then we've got your oven, or bread box rather, since you can't do much in there other than maybe bake some cookies. Moving up, let me give you a wide angle here. There's a good look at your kitchen. We've got this cutting board material sink cover with rubber feet on it, so you can put it on top of the glass 3-burner stove top and reclaim your counter space when you're using the sink. Big stainless steel sink with a pull-out faucet, so you can spray with your faucet. Here's your stove again. We've got a range hood that actually does vent outside, which is really nice to see. Another window. And these windows are awning style, so you can push them out to wherever you want, and they'll just stay there. And so long as it isn't raining sideways, if it's raining a little bit, it's just going to slide right off the end. Then you give it a good pull back in, flip the latches, and you're back to normal. Now, fit and finish in here is incredible. When we bring in Northern Lite product and we do a pre-delivery inspection, like we do on everything that we bring in here at El Dorado, they cost us less than anything else because they come right from the factory. All the piping, all the fit and finish is really nice, and then everything's already been tested. So 99% of the time, everything in this unit already works, and we don't have to submit very much in terms of warranty claims. Microwave comes standard in the limited edition, optional in the special edition and the Sportsman. The air conditioning is also optional in the special edition and standard in the limited. Bluetooth AM FM radio here, charging station to keep your stuff charged. So we got USB there, 12 volt here. Then we've got a GFCI outlet and a color matched oak storage place here for, remotes or whatever else you want to put in there. There's also a color matched towel rod right here, paper towel roll holder, whatever you want to put there, you can, and it's color matched. Last but not least, in the kitchen, we've got your little water heater control right here, switch it between electric and gas, and your reset light. Now on the way up to the bedroom, we've got this window. No, it is not a pass-through window. The reason that I've heard from Northern Lite that they don't put one in is because they've tested them a million times, and you can either put one in that doesn't open wide enough to be useful for anything, or you can put one in that does open wide enough and it leaks. So, give and take, I'd rather not have water incursion in my truck camper, so I'll take the non-pass-through window. Moving into your bedroom, we have a full-size 80-inch long queen mattress, nice and thick, with a vent system on the bottom so you don't get mold or mildew. Oak trim the whole way around your bedroom. A little accordion door here to shut out the light or shut out your guests if you've got someone staying on the dinette. Here's a quick little look at the interior. There's your air conditioner right there. One more note, these are wider than pretty much everybody else. All the real competition, they're wider. No slide, but your hallway's super wide. You get a ton of space in here. Keeps the center of gravity nice and low, so they handle amazingly on a truck. You barely even know that they're there. Now back towards your bedroom. On the right-hand side, we've got a little speaker here, speaker on the other side as well, a TV, 12-volt TV, so you can run that off your batteries. And you can put lithium in the battery container. You just have to make sure they have a battery management system, so don't go cheaping out on your lithium. Almost all of them do. A little bit more power in there, and some access to your cables and wiring, which is nice. It's just nice to have access to those things, plus a good amount of storage. Now we've got a vent right here to allow air to pass through the space here so that you don't get condensation or mold or mildew buildup in this big storage compartment that's on both sides of the bed. Tons of room in there. We've also got windows again with the screens. They open awning style and they have a blackout shade. Reading lights with USB ports on them. A matching black leatherette headboard. And then the same storage compartments on this side. Like so. Now the one thing that is different on this side is that we have a hanging wardrobe. Places to put your hangers there, and enough room for you to hang some shirts, plus fold some stuff or put a little bin down at the bottom. It's a very, very deep. This little piece of paneling here is a foot. And then the very last thing in the bedroom is your Hecky skylight. It's got a blackout shade as well as a bug screen. Or you can have that open and let the beautiful morning sunlight in, or be able to keep an eye on the stars. It opens up all the way. You can squeeze out of there, or you can just let the air come through, turn on your max air fan at the other end of the camper and get a beautiful breeze blowing through overnight so you don't have to run your AC. Locks into place. It also has a couple different settings, so you can lock it up just a little bit more, or you can open it up all the way. That's the 2025 Northern Lite 9.6 limited edition. It's the middle child between the 811 and the 10.2. What's going on, folks? I'm Evan, and behind me is the 2025 Northern Lite limited edition 10.2. This is the big brother of the 811. So you've already seen the best short box truck camper in the world. Now, let me show you the best long box truck camper of 2025. Let's go check it out. So we're gonna keep it pretty short on the outside here. If you want a more detailed breakdown with a look at the awnings and things like that, go watch the video on the 811. I'm gonna put it up in the corner right there or there. And I'm also gonna put it in the description. So make sure you go watch that if you don't know how these are built. But basically, it's a two-piece fiberglass shell, and they are the best in the business. Built incredibly well. This is the 10.2, this is the biggest one that they make in the limited edition, so it's the most loaded that you could possibly get. We've got electric jacks the whole way around, acrylic tinted thermal pane windows, we got a side awning, rear awning, exterior speakers, propane in this compartment here. We got a little fridge service access over here, nothing fancy. Got an outside light, power as well, and you'll notice that there's no seams except for the one the whole way around. Now we've also got a rear view window, so you can see straight out the back through your rear view mirror in your truck. And this thing looks so sharp. Now let's have a quick chat about the back corner here, and then we'll go inside. We're gonna keep this one pretty short. Like I said, go watch the 811 if you want a more detailed breakdown on the outside. We've got your battery box right here. And then we've got your generator compartment. So in the 10.2, it's a huge compartment. You can get it from the factory with the generator, or you can install the generator afterwards. It's already plumbed for the propane and pre-wired, so it's ready to go. Now along the back, we've got the same massive rear deck with the flip-up steps. Got a compartment under the door. That's a massive heated basement compartment with a rotocast bin that you can pull out, put your skis in there, put your water toys in there, whatever you got, all goes in there. And it's easy to clean out. You just pull the whole compartment out. As part of this deck, we got this super thick mounting system that the jacks also attach to that go the whole way around. And they wrap down underneath the corner here as well. Now, over on this side, there's a little bit to talk about here. We got your general services, your outdoor shower, city water, electrical connection, your potable water fill. It's all up over there. And then there's a little bit of plumbing access down here. That's the one spot that there's a compartment in the underbelly area. And then in here, we've got your black tank pull, your water pump, all your water lines. We've also got your tank sensors. You can see them there. And you can see a little reflective foil back there. That is where the heat is pumped into this area in the basement. One last thing before we go inside. Up on the roof, we've got 600 watts of solar. As you can see, a nice skylight, and it's sloped super well, super steep to keep the water off, because that's the name of the game. Keep the water out of here. Now on the way in, we've also got a backup camera and a rear security light. Almost fell off the deck there. Whoa. So you got your thin shades for the rear windows here with the Northern Light geese, and in we go. It might be a little bit dark. I think my battery pack went and died on me, so forgive me if it's dark in here. Immediately to your right in the entryway, we've got your wardrobe, which has a heat vent as well, so that it stays nice and warm in there. We got the gray Stokes on the thick hardwood cabinets and this really nice metal hardware. Down here, we've got your solar controller, your awning controls, all right here, your fire extinguisher and your battery disconnect. And then new in the 24-25, we've got a new compartment. Nice little cabinet, add some extra storage. So I'm gonna show you this part here is something that you only get in the 10.2. This additional row of cabinet and drawers, 5-piece drawers. They're insanely deep. Like, they're 8 or 9 inches deep. And there's 3 of them, and they're so solid. So it's all stained white oak, birch drawer sides, 5-piece drawers. Got a little drawer underneath the fridge here, which in this one is a gas electric fridge, but you can get it with a 12-volt fridge now. Also in the 10.2 is this pantry, which you get with the wet bath, but when you get the dry bath, you don't get the pantry. Pull it out, you got the adjustable shelves for your canned goods or whatever you want to put in there. And there's a little lock as well, a little pin to hold it in place when you're driving down the road. And here's a good look at your entryway. Got a fantastic fan in the roof, nice lights that aren't working because my battery's dead. And then your camera light switch and your light switch for the security light out back. So we got this nice carpeting throughout on your roof and on the sides, foam block insulation the whole way around. And this carpeting really helps a lot to keep the noise down. With the door open, you can probably hear the highway, but it's super quiet with the door closed. This one, we've got it in the, I believe this is the steel leatherette, or it might be the slate gray, I can't remember. Anyways, leatherette sort of valance up top there. And we've got your bathroom. Hey, it's me, sorry folks, Evan not included, but what is included is this medicine cabinet. Got some room right there. Good to go. Got a light in here, a fantastic fan, little towel rack, and you'll notice toilet paper has a cover over it because this is the wet bath. So the wet bath is a tiny bit smaller than the dry bath, but if you want to make it a dry bath, just drape your shower curtain over the toilet and that keeps it dry. There's your bathroom. Now one big thing in the 10.2 that the 811 and the 9.6 don't have, tons of headroom in here. Tons of room in general. It's just a lot bigger. It's the biggest, baddest of the bunch, so you get a ton of room. Like this one, we have the U-shaped dinette. Speakers under the dinette. We've got your Sapili table right here. That twists and spins around. This does turn into a bed. Got some power underneath. And then underneath the dinette, we've got your shoe garage area. And this carpet down here, we got the cardboard to protect the carpet, and the carpet is fully removable. It's vinyl underneath, so you could just roll that up and put it away if you'd like. A big drawer underneath the step here. And your furnace, it's not all vented, it just dumps into the basement. You have a couple vents, and then the rest just kind of comes up. So you have a heated floor, the cool air falls, the hot air rises, and it works really well to stay warm in here. A little bit more about your dinette area before we move on. You have a drawer on this side, and then the other side is where your breaker panel is. And then you can see we've got really nicely finished plywood bases in here. Underneath this cushion, it's all service access. You got your water heater and all that down there. And a Above your dinette, we've got cabinets, big cabinets. And they stay up on their own, but they do snap down on you as well, so you better watch out for that. Hold them as you put them down or they will go. We've got reading lights, directional, and they've got USB. Big windows with both the blackout shade and the screen. And they open awning style. So you can open them while it's raining. As long as it's not raining sideways, I guess. Now it's pretty dang cold out there, so let me close that back up. And that's what all the windows are like, except this one's an exit window, so it's a lot bigger. That's kind of it for your dinette area. Now, over into your kitchen. We have tons of counter space, way more counter space in the 10.2 than you get in the 811, the 9.6. An extra drawer. We got your pots and pans drawer down here, full of all sorts of goodies. Remote for your jacks, your electric jacks. All of that stuff is in here. We've also got a polishing kit for your acrylic windows, which is pretty cool of them to include. Oh my goodness, I can't close these drawers today. Then we've got a 3-burner Furrion stove with the oven. Furrion. And a Furrion vent fan as well with the Lite. Window back here for your kitchen. We've got a big sink with the stove cover, so that goes on your stove. Gives you a little more counter space, and technically you could use this as a cutting board, but they're so nice, I don't know if I would. Huge stainless steel sink with the sprayer faucet, so you can spray with your faucet. Pretty cool. Light under here, doesn't work. Nice stained to match towel, paper towel roll holder. We've also got like a remote or a magazine, book rack, whatever you want to put in there. Charging station for your phone, so you can put your phone in there. So we got USB and 12 volt. We've also got your Bluetooth AM, FM radio. You can also run HDMI into there, all of that. It's all there. GFCI outlet. This is the limited edition, so it's loaded. We've got the microwave as standard, but you could take it out if you like. Whoops. Same thing happens with these cabinets. They will pull down on you. Massive amount of space in them though. Massive amount of space. Even up here, tons of room. Then down below your sink, we got your sponge holder, your water heater control, whether you're in gas or electric mode, and then a good sized cabinet under your sink. Massive amount of space in there. And these doors are just so solid. Let's have a look at that in the sun. They're super thick doors. They're so solid. They don't bend at all. They put cabinet latches at the top and the bottom, not just in the middle or not just on the one side. That's a plus. And here's your silverware drawer, which in the 811 would be under the stairs. Now if you go watch that video, you'll see that. And there's your bed area, but before I get up there, let's have a quick last look here. Super comfy dinette, really high density foam cushions. We've got the wood trim everywhere. We've got matching valances with the same leatherette as the cushions. Up here, we've got your AC. Just dumps out the sides. And your controls for it are right there. Then for your furnace, got your control over here. Your max air fan remote, because you've got a rain sensing max air fan right there. So you open the skylight in your bedroom, turn on the fan, and it's going to pull nice cool air over you while you sleep. Monitor panel and your Northern Light clock, which does have an alarm on it. Make sure you get out of bed when you're camping. You'll be in big trouble. Then we've got a full-length queen mattress up in your bedroom here with a ventilation pad to stop mold, mildew, and condensation buildup. And the nice black bedspread, which I can't seem to put back on properly, so I will do that later. We've got an accordion style curtain to separate your bedroom from everywhere else. Now, like I said, this is a full-size queen. Then we've got a nice big wardrobe over here. Tons of room, and it's quite deep. So you could like fold a bunch of stuff, put it in there, and then also be able to hang stuff up from the little hangers there. Now your roof line in the bedroom is quite a bit higher than everything else. Everything else usually just kind of ends right here. We've got your Hecky skylight with the bug screen and the blackout shade to keep the sun out and the bugs out. And this skylight, let me see if I can try not to make you motion sick here. It opens up all the way because it's also your emergency exit. That's why you have the ladder on the back. Look at how beautiful the sky is right now. Wow. And then it closes up. And you can also set it at a couple different intervals. So like if you want to run the fan overnight, you can just lock your skylight in place like that and close the bug screen, run the fan, and away you go. Then we've got windows on both sides of the bed, reading lights with the USBs again. We've got ventilation for the cabinets here, so that allows some of the warm air to get into there to stop, again, condensation buildup on the inside of the cabinets because they're on the exterior wall. We've got a speaker on this side, same on the other side. A nice deep cabinets here, very deep. One more over here. There you go. Nice matching little fascia here, headboard thing. The same storage over on that side. Same windows, same speaker, but we have a TV. And back behind the TV is a 12 volt and USB charging station. And underneath this little ledge here, we've got access to your radio stuff, some power, all of that, and it's finished up pretty well in there, but still easy to access. Let me turn around here, show you a little bit of details. We've got piping in all the corners. All the finishing in Northern Lite is so nice. I mean, these are just built to last. They're the kind of thing that you buy them, if you take care of it, you can pass it down to your kids and hopefully eventually grandkids. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know in the comments below. If you like this, give it a like. If you like me, subscribe. And if you want to buy one of these, my email is in the description. Shoot me an email and we'll get you going down the road. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.